Yo, what's up guys, Neon Blitz here, back with another Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra video. The Dragon Ball games battle hour has just ended, and man, was there a lot of announcements. But today I'm going to be specifically talking about the Gekishin Squadra announcements. In case you're curious what was announced for the games, we got in the trailer for Dragon Ball Super Beerus that teased Frieza at the end. We got the official announcement of Age 1000 that it was actually Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. We got the trailer for Super Saiyan 4 Diamond Goku coming to Fighters on April 22nd. And, you know, Sparking Zero is getting this big update, and the card games are also coming out with brand new cards and set that all look really cool. But specifically for the mobile games, they announced that they're doing big collaborations with Xenoverse 2 since, you know, Xenoverse 3 is on the way. That they're going to be doing collaborations with Xenoverse 2 as it's approaching its final DLC. And then Dokkan, you know, what they're doing is they're having 3 Xenoverse 2 characters, including an LR of this god, like ultra super villain Vegeta. Really crazy that collaboration's actually getting an LR, you know. This is something that I really wanted from Dragon Ball Heroes, and they're collabing with that for a long time. Legends is getting a supporter Supreme Kai of Time and a Sparking Xeno Trunks, with they said that there's going to be in the future another more Sparking and Legends rarity characters coming from the future saga arc of Xenoverse 2. And then for Sparking, or for Gekishin Squadra, they have announced that we are getting 2 skins coming for Trunks and God Vegeta. We're getting Trunks in his Xeno Patrol outfit, and we're getting God Vegeta in this Ultra Super Villain fit. If we go to Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra official Twitter, we see Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 collaboration. New skins for Super Saiyan Trunks Teen and Super Saiyan God Vegeta are coming. New emotes will be added. Collaboration details will be revealed at a later date. We see, of course, the art that they showed off here with Time Patrol Trunks and Ultra Super Villain God Vegeta. Now, they did state during the live stream itself that Gekishin Squadra is going to be getting this a bit later than Legends and Dokkan. Dokkan, I believe, is coming like next week on like the 28th or 22nd. And same thing with Legends, but Squadra, they've actually said that, yeah, they...
So although it will be happening slightly later down the line compared to Dokkan and Legends...
Yeah, they are getting this a bit later, which, you know, is actually interesting, because if you look at the Season 4 roadmap, you know, we had this mysterious skins on May 8th. You know, myself and a bunch of other people thought this would be related to Goku Day, because the May 9th is typically Goku Day, because, you know, Goku's name in Japanese sounds like the numbers 5 and 9. So, you know, it makes sense for these skins, or for those set of skins to be for Goku Day. But considering Toshi's saying that these skins are coming later, and, you know, we're going to get more details and emotes at a later time, I think these 2 skins, the Xenoverse collaboration, is happening around this time period of May 8th or 9th, wherever the day may be. And I think that makes a lot of sense, because, you know, it's the end of Season 4. You know, this collaboration would really be for Xenoverse players that also play Squadra. And I think it's a perfect time to fit in that collaboration with like a Season 5. You know, maybe Season 5 already be revealed at that point. So, you know, let's just say it's a Goku Black, you know, also future themed. You know, that I think that will work well with Xenoverse. You know, you get these Xenoverse skins, you know, all these new emotes. You know, easy way to wrap up Season 4. Now, that's pretty much it for the skins. But there's another thing that they announced here. They announced the Squadra Blast World Championship, which, you know, they announced our third Squadra Blast, which, you know, we've had the one during Season 2, we had the one during Season 3. It looks like we're not getting any during Season 4, but it looks like we're going to be getting one for Season 5. And the cool thing about this is they're having an offline finals in Japan. So from what it looks like, because during the trailer, it shows off, you know, the NA Squadra Blast, the Asia Squadra Blast, the EU Squadra Blast, and the South America Squadra Blast. So what I imagine is they're going to, and they even stated here with Toshi, you know, this signups starts at May 13th, which should be the start of Season 5. So it sounds like Season 4, we're not getting a Squadra Blast, but it looks like at the beginning of Season 5, we're going to be getting a Squadra Blast. You know, at least that's when the entry opens, and maybe the participation may actually happen, you know, I don't know, say May 29th or 30th. Which, I don't know how much I like that, just because, you know, we saw Season 2, at the beginning of the season, they had a Squadra Blast, which meant there was no balance changes till pretty much after Ultimate Gohan came out. So it's like a month of no changes. And considering the strength of characters like Ultimate Gohan, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, I feel like it really damaged the reputation of that season early on. Especially, we had to wait till Broly came out for any substantial balance changes. So I don't know how I feel about the Squadra Blast at the beginning of the season, but, you know, we'll let Toshi explain here.
Will be holding its first worldwide tournament, the Squadra Blast World Championship 2026, and it is officially happening. Until now, we have had separate regional tournaments online, but for the World Championship Finals, the top teams from each server will come together in Japan to compete for the title of World Champion.
Yeah, so it sounds like we're gonna have our typical Squadra Blast format with, you sign up in game with your squad, you do everything online. But then the winners of each specific region, winners of North American Squadra Blast, the Asia Squadra Blast, the EU Squadra Blast, and the South American Squadra Blast, they're all gonna fly to Japan. I don't know if they get flown out or if they're gonna have to pay for their flights themselves. But it sounds like those 4 teams are gonna compete against each other at an offline tournament in Japan, which I think that's really cool. Having the first ever of offline tournament for Squadra, I think it's incredible. That should be really high. We'll get to really see who's, truly the best players and who's the strongest region. I think that'll be really cool. Obviously, you'll stand by whichever region you personally represent. You stand by, the NA team, the EU team, the Asia team, the South American team. And yeah.
The first preliminaries will be held in-game.
Yeah, so it should still work pretty much exactly like the Squadra Blast. But if you end up winning your region Squadra Blast, you're going to be going to Japan to play offline. And I think this is very cool. We've seen this with Legends. They just got done with their worldwide tournament that ended in Japan, that led to the reveal of Legend Super Vegeta and Tag Sparking Blue Goku and Vegeta. And they also had something similar during the first year anniversary of Legends, where they did Legends Limited Super Vegeta and Sparking Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta. So considering we got the Season 4 reveals at the end of the Season 3 Squadra Blast, the Squadra Blast 1, I'd imagine at this offline tournament, we're going to be getting potentially the Season 6 reveal for Squadra Blast, which might be one of the... I think we'll have Season 6, maybe Season 7, and I think Season 8 will be the 1-year anniversary, if my math is correct. Because, Season 6 is going to last, or start in May, maybe last till June, July. Season 7 will start June, July, and August, September, and then it lines up pretty perfectly for the game for September. If we go all the way here, the game came out September 10th, 11th. They could start Season 8 September 9th, and to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the game. So I think this is a smart call. I think having an offline tournament makes a lot of sense, and considering they're trying to show how good Squadra can be, especially competitively, I think having an offline tournament is really cool. And for players that actually want to compete in this, I think it's incredibly high for them, since they can actually compete and show off their skill on a worldwide scale. And of course, depending on who ends up winning the NA Squadra Blast, I'm sure they'll be getting tons of support from all the NA players. So that was everything announced for Gekishin Squadra at the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour. A lot more than I was expecting. I was personally just expecting what they did for the Genki Matsuri, where they pretty much just showed us a PNG and said, hey, this is when the Season 4 Happy Anniversary starts on March 18th, and it had the colors that gave us hints that it was either Goku Black or God Goku, and ended up being God Goku. I'd rather they flat out tell us, hey, new skits are coming, and here's his worldwide Squadra Blast. Now, yes, Kid Buu was playable here, so there's a bunch of footage out of people actually playing Kid Buu, and I know content creators in the Squadra content creator program got the full kind of creator package with everything Kid Buu related. We'll be getting all those details very shortly to the public, and I'll be making sure to make a video on that when it's officially out to the public. But that's everything else for Gekishin Squadra Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot to me. Stay tapped into the channel if you want to see everything Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra, clean news coverage, more videos on God Goku, God Vegeta, and Kid Buu eventually comes out, as well as any other potential news you need to know for the game. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!